Okay, Ed, I'm back.
Okay. Carry you back. Okay.
I am.
Okay, who wants to be first on up at the plate? Tell us a fabulous story. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so I did receive a call from the IRS agent, and she was trying to convince me that I should object to a motion for dismiss for lack of jurisdiction. And I told her, why should I do that? And she told me I do not understand what's happening, so I should object. So I did tell her I'm not objecting, and that was final. And I did got an order from the court indicating that on due consideration of the motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction filed on April 30th, 2020 by the respondent.
Stop right there. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Who's the respondent?
Commissioner of Internal Revenue Service.
All right. See, we want them to know that. So you gotta now finish reading it. Thank you for that.
Yes, above docket case is ordered that on or before May 21st, 2020, petitioner shall file an objection, if any, to respondent's just reference motion. Failure to comply with this order may result in the granting of respondent's motion and dismissal of an instant case or the appropriate action by this court. It's signed by the judge. So
okay.
In that respect, I should do nothing, and they will issue the order for motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction.
Yeah. Yes.
But it was kind of strange. She was trying to get me to object over the phone.
Right. I understand. Now let me ask you a question. Do you know how if the IRS or an attorney or the government's lying? Do you know how to tell if they're lying?
They're opening their mouth.
Right. Their lips are moving. So what they're trying to get you to do, okay. See, they're trying to get you to do something. Now, you did the right thing. Don't worry about it. You're going to get what you want, and with that, you're going to be able to get them where you want them to get. You need to get them. It's not a problem, okay?
Right.
You're going to be able to get what you want. You have what you need now. Thank you for sharing that, okay?
Great. I have one more question. So, in regards to from the state surcharge motor vehicles, I could do the Form 1020 on them, right?
Yes, you can. Now I want you to understand. The question you asked me is not clear. See, you need to tell me what you're talking about. But if you're talking about your state's income taxes.
No, not the state income taxes. It's motor vehicle surcharge, and it's a state of New Jersey motor vehicle commission.
Okay, hold on now. I don't know what a surcharge is, and I don't know what that is. So I won't be able. No, you're saying the state surcharge. Okay. Do they sell cookies? I mean, I don't understand.
I don't know.
Are you talking about your license plate?
Well, with regards to the driver's license.
Okay. That driver's license, that you'll have to look at and see, because I'll have to get with you on that separate and see, because everyone's is slightly different. But in Texas, you don't have to have it because they tell you don't.
Okay. Okay, I'll give you a call.
Thank you.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
Okay. Next. Anybody else want to talk?
I have a question. This is Lee.
Okay, Lee.
Yeah, it's about this stimulus check. I was wondering about that. If you didn't file in 2018 or 2019, and you make an application for that, they automatically do a 1040 for you. And I was wondering if you did that, if that's going to mess up the jurisdictional issue.
Okay. What that is that's an SFR, a substitute for return. Okay? We have a form for that. The IRS cannot do a 1040 SFR. They can't do one. So, in my opinion, now I want you to repeat after me. I don't give legal advice. Would you say that for me?
I don't give legal advice.
Okay. So, if you get a hold of Ed or me, we'll send you the SFR, substitute for return. The IRS cannot do one for a 1040. So fill out the piece of paper, stick it in there, and send it in. Now, I didn't fill out anything. I'm on Social Security, so they just put $1,200 in my account. I didn't do anything for it. It just showed up and said right on it, stimulus. On my deposit, it said stimulus. So that's not a prerequisite. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to do as much as they can. Now, do you understand? Okay, I haven't filled out a 1040 since 1988, so I don't think that had anything to do with it. But do you file a 1040, sir?
It's been since 1980.
Okay, stop right there. That's your problem. Okay? That's your problem. Now, I want you to ask me what my name is, and I'm going to show you what you did. Just ask me what my name is.
What's your name?
I was born in Michigan. My mother's name is Billy. My dad's name is Gerald. I got 5 brothers, 2 sisters. I got 7 aunts, 2 sets of grandparents, 17 cousins. I work at General Motors, and I change tires. Did you ask me all that?
No.
See, I asked you a question. Do you file a 1040? I'm just trying to show you. No, I haven't done one since. That's not what I asked you. See, because now you've just given me 2 hours worth of questions that I can ask you for the next 2 hours, and you're frustrated. You'll never get nothing in. Does that make sense? We have to be careful how okay, so let me ask it again, and I'm going to just show you. Do you file a 1040?
1040 what?
Form. Do you file a 1040 form?
Why should I file a 1040 form?
Okay, I don't have to. That ain't what I asked. See, okay, why? Because if you don't, then you're not American. You're a sponge. You're a thief. You're a liar, and you're no good. You think you should live off the backs of others. Now you're on trial here. You're on the stand. I'm the attorney. I'm going to tell the 12 that. Now, how are you going to dig out of that hole? How are you going to dig out of that hole? You're indicted. See? No, because, jury, here's what he said. He said, why should he? See, so he's telling you he's a sovereign. He's trying to tell you he doesn't have to pay taxes. You do. Why doesn't he? He's getting the benefit of the streets, and he's getting the benefit of the nice schools. He's getting the benefit of having hospitalization. See? All of that's a lie. Do you understand that?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, do you, now this is the 3rd time I've had to ask you, do you file a 1040 form?
No.
Now, the next question is why? Now you have to defend it. See, I'm going to give you a defense that they can't get around. Okay, why? Tell me why you don't.
I'm not required.
Okay, there you go. You used a word in there that will put you in prison. I'm not required. Okay, fine. I'm going to take you this as far as I can now. When you say you're not required, why are you not required? Everybody else in this courtroom is required. Why are you not required?
Because I don't have make income that I don't fall into the income category.
Okay, so in other words, you don't go to work and get paid. You don't get a Social Security. You don't get any money to live on. Is that what you're saying?
Well, not enough to file.
Wait. Okay, that's what you said. So I'm following this to the end. See what you're doing? You're opening yourself up. Now,
are required to volunteer.
Okay, but again, see, that's not true. Anytime you say I, that's wrong. Now, are you in front of a computer? And please don't take this that I'm on you, because I'm on your side, okay? I'm trying to help you here. Are you in front of a computer?
Yes.
Okay, if you would, I want you to put in Title 26, Section 6012. When you get it, come back on and we're going to read it, and then I'm going to show you how to answer that. The other guy that spoke, are you in front of a computer?
What section was that?
Title 26, 6012.
6012.
Now, I want you to just read the heading. I don't care about the rest of it. Hold on a minute. What was that?
Voluntary.
Okay, again, you're incorrect. You're wrong, because that's not what it says. Let's use Title 26. When you get it, let me know you're there, and I'm going to let you read it, and then we're going to discuss it. See, we have to answer these questions. They've heard all of that. They've already got an answer for you. Okay, did you find 6012?
It's coming up. It's a little slow.
Okay.
Okay, yes, I got it. 26 U.S. Code, Section 6012. Persons required to make returns of income.
Hey, can you listen? Okay, now, only read the heading, and then I'm going to show you the answer. Go ahead, now read it.
What I just read, or the...
See, the problem is you're going off for me here. I'm trying to show you. Okay, I want you to read Title 26, 6012, only the heading. Go ahead.
Persons required to make returns of income.
That's the answer. See, I'm not required. No. Don't say. See, what it says there is the best way to do that would be read that and know what it says. Now, ask me the same question, and I'll show you how I always answer the IRS, without fail.
Are you required to make a return?
Okay, I can't tell you what I am. I can't make a legal determination. I'm required to go to work. I'm required to put air in my tires. I'm required to eat dinner. See, you're not understanding what you're doing. You're asking a question, are you required? It's not about me. See? I asked you, do you fill out a 1040? You said no, because I'm not. The other guy said voluntary. It doesn't say voluntary there. It says persons liable to fill out a return of income. Now, the question is, are you one of the people that are required to fill out a return of income? It tells you in that section, if you read that section, it will tell you in black and white who is and who isn't required. Now, while you're on this subject, would you look up the 1040 instructions, and I'm going to show you why it says that. Look up the 1040 instructions, not the 1040 form. The other guy that said you're what did he say? Voluntary. Who said that for me? Do you mind coming back up? I'm not beating you up, guy. I'm trying to help you with that. What's happening is, and I'm going to tell you what happened this week. We went in front of the IRS this week, and the guy almost decked me. He almost punched me, and the IRS agent almost punched me in the IRS building. The guy that said voluntary, are you there? Okay, he's not there. So, okay, when you get the 1040 looked up, the 1040 instructions, I want to show you what we're doing is I'm outside the box. I think outside the box. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to give you an argument. No matter what they say to you, it doesn't make any difference what they ask you. You're going to answer it, and then you're going to shut up. They're going to have to ask. In order for them to get something out of me, they have to ask the same question 5 different ways in order to get the answer they're looking for. By doing that, I've neutered their question. Their question's no good to them anymore. Does that make sense? Because when you said, I'm not required, what you did is you put you in there, you're not required. Now I'm going to make you define what required is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you looked up the 1040 instructions?
It's coming up right now.
Okay. When it comes up...
I'm there.
Okay, go to page 100, and I'm going to let you read it. You're going to read it. The reason I can look it up and read it, but when it reads it, you're not going to believe what it says. This is the answer to your question, or to that question. While it's coming up, and you're on page 100, what I'm trying to do is give you a different way to look at it, okay? Okay, do you know, do you know how far a mile is?
A mile what?
Okay, I want you to run a mile. How far is it?
1 mile.
See, you don't know. Okay, it's 2,093 yards, 6,280 feet. See, when I answer the question, that's how I answer it. Well, how far is a mile? Oh, 2,093 yards, because you can't envision that. Oh, it's 6,280 feet.
Yeah,
see,
didn't know that offhand. I would have said it.
Okay. See? No, that's okay. Now, read it. Are you on page 100?
Yeah. Disclosure,
okay,
Privacy Act, and Paperwork Reduction Act notice.
Okay. Okay. Now, it's got 3 columns, a left, a middle, and a right. On the left-hand column, start your eyes at the very first word, on the very first line, go back and forth, and bring your eyes down until you see 6,001. And I'm going to show you how simple this becomes. Now, have you ever looked at Title 26? Have you ever seen Title 26? It's 8.5 inches thick. It's 8.5 inches thick.
Yeah, I've looked at it, or parts of it anyway. Not the whole thing, that's for sure.
That's not the question that was asked. Have you ever seen one? It's 8.5 inches thick. It's over 10,000 pages. Would you like to memorize it? Would you like to memorize it in 2 days? I have.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so in other words, if you don't know what it says, I can teach it to you in 2 days. You'll memorize it in 2 days. Now, go ahead and read. When you find 6,001, start at the beginning of that column. Go ahead and read that column.
Okay.
Now listen. Okay. When you're reading it, I'm going to tell you to stop, and I need you to stop so we can define what you just read. Okay. Now start reading it.
Okay. Our legal right.
Stop. Who's our? We need to know what they're saying.
Revenue Service.
Okay, let's read it that way. It makes more sense.
Okay, Internal Revenue Service right to ask for information.
Okay, that's not what it said. That's not what it said. Start over.
Our legal right to ask for information.
Start over. Okay, for some reason we have a bad connection. Our. Who's our? The IRS. So put IRS in. Okay, but you're leaving words out, and it's changing the meaning of it.
Okay.
So start the IRS's.
IRS legal right to ask for information is.
So the IRS has a legal right. Isn't that what it says?
That's what it says.
Okay, what's the opposite of legal?
Lawful.
No, sir. Legal and lawful is the same.
Illegal.
Illegal. There you go. So, keeping that in mind, we're going to go back and ask that question. Okay, start over, and I'm not going to stop you until you get to where I need you to be. Now, start over.
IRS legal right to ask for information is Internal Revenue Code Section 6001, 6011, and 6012A, and their regulations.
Stop. Now, do you have to file a 1040? No. Why? It's illegal. Why do I say it's illegal? Because if you read what they say, you have to file a 1040. Willful failure to file is 7203. Is 7203 one of those three sections?
No.
Okay, so now I want you to answer this question. You owe $40,000 on taxes. You are found guilty, you're in court, and you stand up and say, Your Honor, I want to pay my taxes with a brick of cocaine. What would the judge say?
It depends on the judge, but he'd probably say that's illegal.
Okay, so cocaine to the court is the same thing as any other section other than 6001, 6011, and 6012A. Anything else in Title 26 is illegal. Now, the question is, if I can teach you those three sections and have you memorize it, and the regulation, that's less than 30 pages. If you know those three sections, anything they ask makes no difference. What would it be?
Illegal.
There you go. Now, my question is, do you file a 1040?
Well, that's illegal.
Nope. See what you just did? Okay, again, all right, let's go back. Why didn't you say my toenails are long, my hair is gray, I'm bald-headed, I'm fat, I'm skinny, I wear short pants? Why didn't you say all that? Because that was not the question. You're answering a question that's not asked. Do you file a 1040? No. Why? Because the 1040 instruction says it's illegal. Then you shut your mouth. Now you've taken over the conversation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
See? Now the question is, well, under 6601B1 it says you have to file a tax return. Now, what did I just say? Okay, under 6301 you have to file. What did I just tell you?
That you had to file a tax return.
No, sir. No, sir. Doesn't matter what I told you. Why? It's illegal.
Okay.
See? Now, let's finish reading that so you can understand why I do it this way. Now, finish reading it. And their regulations.
They say that you must file a return or a statement.
Hey! You listen. Who's they?
Internal Revenue Service.
No. Read it again and stop. Okay? 6001, 6011, 6012A and the regulations. They say.
Oh.
Now, so tell me who they is.
Well, it's the Internal Revenue Code.
No. Okay, read it again. They is 6001, 6011, 6012A. That's the only part of this that matters. Everything else is illegal. It makes no difference. So, the IRS's legal right to ask is in 6001, 6011, 6012A, and the regulations. They, 6001, 6011, 6012A, and the regulation says, now read what they say you have to do.
They say that you must file a return or statement.
Stop. Now, tell me what it... do you file a 1040? No. Why not? Oh, I do a statement as your instructions tells me. Because it says a return or statement. A CT1 is a return, a 1040 is a return, a 1041 is a return, 643 is a return, 940, 941, 943, those are all returns. It doesn't say that. See what I'm saying? What it says, a return or statement. So I file a statement every year. Can you give me a statement?
Yeah, eat shit and die.
There's your statement. You're done. You've already done 2020. See, it's telling you right there. Well, that's not what we want. Okay, then it's illegal. See that?
Yeah.
Doesn't that make sense? Okay, now I've got you. I need you to pick up. I need you to drive to Dallas and pick up. I've got 7 tons of heroin that I want you to load in the back of your truck and drive it to me. Would you do that?
No, that's illegal.
Okay, so is anything else. In other words, did you follow 1040? No. Under 6601B1, that's illegal. That's like saying go pick up some cocaine. Now you understand why the guy almost punched me. We're in there and I'm arguing with the guy, and he's down there and he is pissed. See? So I got a packet that I put together. We take it with us, and we ask a few questions along the way. He said something, we hand it to him. Now, anything you say, and here's my new saying, and this just frosted, this is really what threw him over the top. Anything you say can or will be used against you. What was the question again? See?
Well, you said something about filing an SR, what was that?
No, I didn't say that. An SFR is a substitute for return. If you do a statement and they do a 1040 for you, that's a substitute for return. You did a return or statement. So a substitute for return. If you do a 1040 and you owe them, they owe you $5. They turn it around and they redo it and say you made some mistakes. You owe us $5. That's a substitute for return. They can't do it. They just committed a felony. That's what it says in their own paperwork. I don't go in there. I never argue anything but what they say. When we were in front of this IRS agent, I said this week, this is Tuesday, last week, now you got to understand how frustrated he gets with me. He points his finger at me and says, you can't use Title 26. I says, I can't, why not? He said, it has no legal effect. I said, makes sense to me. Then how come my client's here? Because you said here under 6332, he has to. I'm confused. Put that in writing. And by the way, anything you say can or will be used against you. He wanted to punch me so bad. They took us and walked us out and told us don't ever come back. Never. So I got a ticket. Probably a year ago. The court that I went into, it's right over here. It's in my precinct. That's where I have to go to buy my license plates for my truck. They won't let me in. If I show up there, I'm immediately, I have a court order that says you can't go in. So I immediately show up there. I'm arrested on site. So I go down there and I ring and call the constable and say, hey, I'm here to get some license plates. He said, I got a court order saying I can't come in. You're the one that signed it. Remember? So he comes to the door, and he has to go in there and get my tag. I'll sit in my truck and go get them, bring them out to me. So I get a ticket when I'm in that precinct. That's where I live. When I get a ticket, that's where I have to go. That's the courthouse I have to go to. So when I get there, I call the judge. Hey, Judge, I got this court order from you that you signed saying I can't come in. I'm at the door. He said, don't worry about it. Your case has been dismissed. They won't even let me in it because this is what I do to them. Does that make sense? I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm trying to show you a different way to look at things. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so the question is, I'm trying to get you to understand the question. Do you file a 1040?
No.
Why?
Illegal.
There you go. See? What do you mean? Now they're going to have to say, well, what do you mean? Let me show you. Now, see, now I own the conversation. For the next 2 hours, I'm going to go through everything that I've got. And they're going to, stop. That's it. Nope. You ask me, I'm going to show you. See, does that make sense? See? Okay. I want to show you what happens. Did you watch the Super Bowl in February by any chance? Hey.
Yes,
okay.
I don't remember if it was in February or not. But
I don't care.
I saw the Super Bowl.
That was not the question. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Hello?
What Super Bowl? And what?
The one that was in February. Did you watch the Super Bowl in February?
Well, was Super Bowl of fruit punch or what?
Okay. See what you're doing? That's how you answer it. Because unless they tell us what they're saying, they have a special language. So what state do you live in? I live in Texas. Where do you live at? What do you live in?
In a heightened state.
That's good. But which heightened state do you live in?
You really want to know?
Yes, I do, because I'm going to show you what they're doing to us.
Missouri.
I'm sorry, where?
Missouri.
Okay. In Michigan, where I was born, we say you guys. What do you say in Missouri?
Depends. You all, one thing they say.
Okay. Now, here's what you just said. In Michigan, you guys means I sleep with my sister and I expose myself to my friends. So is that what y'all means? Is that what y'all means?
Okay.
See what you did? See? You immediately, that's what they're doing to us. They ask you a question and you want to answer it. Now, let's do the same thing. This time you say in Missouri, we say y'all. What do you say in Michigan? So I can show you how I answer everything. This is why they don't let me in the courthouse. Go ahead and do that.
We say in Missouri, you all. What do you say in Michigan?
I don't know. What does y'all mean? Because we don't say that. See, now what you've done is I own the conversation. Now I want you to do me another favor, if you will. Go to Title I, Section 1, and I'm going to tie all this together in what they say. And do you mind doing that?
Yeah, it might take a minute.
That's okay, because while you're doing that, I'm gonna talk a little bit more. What's happening is this in the last several weeks. I keep getting phone calls from people saying, the IRS wants to see me and I'm scared to death. Well, don't be scared of it. If you're scared of it, don't worry about it. When you go down there, be precise. What happens is when they ask you a question, you answer the question. Don't answer something else. They're relying on that. Because if they ask you 3 questions and you give them 9 answers, they got 9 answers to 3 questions. They ask me 9 questions and they get 2 questions answered, or 3. I do it the opposite. But what that does is that boogers them up because they don't know what to do. So, like I said, I got this one courthouse over here that I can't go in it. I cannot go in it. I'm not allowed there. So it creates a very unique situation for me. Because if I get pulled over by a constable or a sheriff in this county, that's the courthouse they will send me to, because that's the one that's only maybe 6 miles from the house. That is where I would go, because that courthouse has jurisdiction on my piece of land, my property.
Okay.
I can't get in over there. Go ahead and tell me what it says.
Okay, it's 1 U.S. Code, Title I, General Provisions.
No, that's the statute. I mean, that's the regulation. I want Title I, Section 1. It's going to be the definition of numbers, gender, and so on. That's what I want.
Okay.
And now I want you to read it. And now when you read it, I'm going to stop you along the way so you can understand what they're saying. I'm going to tie all this together and show you what we're doing. I'm not telling you to do it, but this is what's happening. Go ahead and start reading that.
Words denoting number, gender, and so forth. In determining the meaning of any act of Congress, unless the context indicates otherwise.
Stop. Now, have you heard this before? Title 26 has not been enacted into positive law. Have you heard that argument?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, read that bit and then stop and tell me where it says any act of Congress that's been enacted into positive law. Read that again and tell me where it says that.
What I just read?
Read that again.
The meaning of any act of Congress unless the context indicates otherwise.
Stop. Now, did it say for any act of Congress that has been enacted into positive law? Has it said that?
No.
Okay, so that argument has no validity, has nothing. What that will do is that will get you put in prison immediately. Now, let me show you why. Now, read the next little section, and then I'll stop you again. Go ahead, read the next little section.
Words importing the singular include and apply to several persons, parties, or things.
Stop. So what did that just say? Okay, read this next little bit and then stop, because it'll answer that one for you.
Words importing the plural include the singular.
Now, what did that say?
That it doesn't matter whether it's singular or plural. It's all of them.
Okay, see? So, does that see what they're saying is, how many tickets did you get? 1. Okay, he's confessing to 5. Are you married? Yes. Does your wife know you got 4 girlfriends? I don't have any. See, in other words, you're arguing an argument because they didn't tell you otherwise. Now, let's read the next little batch, and you'll see where this is going.
Words importing the masculine gender include the feminine as well.
Stop. Are you married?
No. To what?
Have you ever been married?
Married to what?
A man or a woman. It doesn't matter. I can choose unless I tell you otherwise. Do you see how perverted that is?
Well, it could have been a dog too. These days.
It could have been. See, you're trying to answer a question. That's why I'm trying to show you how to. Let's read the next little batch.
Words used in the present tense include the future as well as the present.
Now, I've heard this when I started this in 1982 or 83, they said to me, well, you can't do a 1040 because if you do, what it does is it's a contract. Well, a contract is a two-party. You sign it and the other people sign it. What it says, see, they're telling you, if you do a 1040 today, you have to do it in the future. You're automatically signed up for the future. Well, that doesn't make any sense unless they tell me otherwise. That's why, do you follow 1040? No, I can't. Why? Because it's illegal. What do you mean? Here, let me show you. See, now, the reason I don't follow one because their own booklet says it's illegal. What? Yeah, I do a statement. What do you mean? I do a statement. Yes, sir. Eat shit and die. I'm good for next year. Do you see how perverted this is? If you understand that, you can see it coming. You can guard yourself against it. Now let's read the next little batch.
The words insane and insane person shall include every idiot, insane person, and person non compos mentis.
Okay. Hold on. So have you ever heard this? If you go to court, you have to have an attorney.
Right. I've heard that.
Why?
Usually because you're incompetent or a ward of the state or...
No, it tells you right there because you're nuts. See? Yeah. Non-compos mentis means I'm not crazy. How do I know? Because I got it cleared. It's cleared. How do I know? My mom said I wasn't nuts. See, now I've got an argument when I go to court. They say, well, you have to have an attorney. I'm not crazy. What do you mean you're not crazy? Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I'm not crazy. What do you mean? My mom said I wasn't crazy. My dad said I was a little off, but I'm not crazy. See, I now have a 2-hour argument with the judge that I'm not crazy. See, if I'm not crazy, I don't have to have an attorney. That's what it says. But if you don't know that, you're going to go up there and you're going to argue, well, I'm a. That's why I never let I ever be entered into it. Now, let's read the next little bit.
The words person and whoever include corporations, companies, associations, firms, partnerships, societies, and joint stock companies, as well as...
Now, go ahead. As well as?
Individuals.
Okay, now, I have a friend of mine, whoever. Do you know whoever?
I don't know.
Okay, now I'm going to test you. Here's where you screwed up. General Motors, tell me what General Motors is.
Corporation.
Read that again.
The words person and whoever include corporations, companies.
Stop. So you do know them. You lied. That's what it says. That's why if I read it, people think I'm crazy. You just read it. So do you know whoever?
I guess I do.
No, the answer is, hell if I know. What's whoever? Tell me who it is so I can tell you if I know. Unless they tell me otherwise. See? Do you see the path that we're doing? Now, let's read the next. It just keeps getting worse. Let's read the next little batch, and I'm going to explain it to you so you can understand. Then we're going to get into some other little small things so you can understand why I'm an asshole. Okay, go ahead.
Officer includes any person authorized by law to perform the duties of the office.
Stop right there. What's the first name of every cop that you have ever met?
Of every what?
Every cop, policeman. What's his first name? They all have the
Officer.
Same first name. There you go. And it doesn't say he has to know anything. It doesn't say, as long as he has the authority to do what he's doing, he can do whatever he wants to do. He can give you a ticket for going under the speed limit. He can give you a ticket for having round tires. He can give you a ticket for being ugly. He can give you a ticket for driving an F-150. He can give you a ticket for not driving an F-150. Doesn't say he has to. See, if an officer, as long as he has the authority to do what he's doing, he can do whatever he wants. That's how I attack all tickets. See? Now, it ain't about what I did or didn't do. It doesn't say you did anything wrong or you did anything right. All it says, if an officer has the authority to act in the office that he's in, what does that mean? He can pull you out of the car, kick you, punch your wife, poke your child in the eye, and there's nothing you can do. They're protected because of that sentence. Now, let's go to the next. What is an IRS officer? See? So the IRS doesn't have to follow the law. You got to follow the law. No, they don't. Why? Because he's an officer and he's got the authority to act out his duties. Now, I understand this doesn't make sense, but does it make sense?
Yes.
All right, now let's read it. It gets worse. Let's read the next one.
Signature or subscription includes a mark when the person making the same intended it as such.
Stop right there. Have you heard this one? I want a original blue ink signature from the judge. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
If you have a dot on a piece of paper, tell me what that dot on a piece of paper is. What is a dot on a piece of paper? Read that again.
Signature or subscription includes a mark when the person
Stop. What is a dot?
The mark.
So if you have a dot on a piece of paper, that's a signature. Isn't that what it says? See, the arguments that we're arguing are frugal. They love them. You're going to spend all your money going to court. They're going to take you out of your job. They're going to make you go back 100 times. Now listen to this. I can't even get in the court. They won't even let me in it because of this. Now, let's finish reading that, and I'm going to show you what's even worse, the worst one of the bunch. Now, let's finish it.
Starting with oath?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Oath includes affirmation, and sworn includes affirmed.
Okay, go ahead.
Writing includes printing and typewriting and reproductions of visual symbols by photographing, multigraphing, mimeographing, manifolding, or otherwise.
Stop right there. So if you have a dot on a piece of paper, that's a mark. That's the judge's signature. Then he Xerox it 25 times. You got the 25th. What would it be? 25th copy. It's a dot on a piece of paper. You got number 25. What is it? Tell me what it is.
It's a writing.
Nope. It's an original signature. If he chose to say so. So, the argument again. I want to see an original blue ink signature by the judge. You're asking for something that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist, and it doesn't have to, because they're telling you right there, unless we tell you otherwise. So that's why I do it the way I do it. Now, before you go any farther, what's the largest city you live near? If you don't mind me asking you.
The largest city I live in?
No, you live by. You live near a city. Yeah. Where do you live near?
Be West Plains, I guess.
Okay. In West Plains, do they have an airport?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever flown out of that airport?
No.
Okay. Have you ever flown out of any other airport?
What do you mean by flown?
See how simple that
becomes?
Flap
my wings, or?
See, if you would have said yes, I would have said, huh, don't your arms get tired? See, that was a legitimate, because unless I tell you otherwise, you're asking me, well, what do you mean by fly? See, unless I tell you, it's whatever I determine it. Once you say it, you're screwed. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, that's why I'm answering it the way I'm trying to show you how. Now, does that finish off Title I, Section 1?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you understand? Now, if you will, look up FORM, the word form, FORM, definition, Black's Law Dictionary. And before you do, can you tell me what a word, if somebody else would like to, he's doing quite a bit of the heavy lifting tonight. Does anybody else on here, will they tell me what the word form, F-O-R-M, it's a 1040 form. Would you tell me what the word form means? All right. Since I'm here by myself, I'm going to make something up. It means you've got pretty feet, blue eyes, and an ugly wife. Did you get it looked up?
I think so. I'm bringing it up now.
Okay, now before you look at it, would you tell me what the word form, F-O-R-M, means? Because you're filling out a 1040 form, or you're filling out a 1041 form, or you're filling out an OID form, or you're filling out a W-9 form, or a W-8 form, or a W-4 form. In other words, everything you do with the IRS, you're using a form. So what does the word form mean before you read it? What do you think it means?
Well, form has different definitions. I mean, it can be look like something, or you form something.
Okay. Now that you said that, okay, that's fine. Now that you said that, after you read the definition, I'm going to ask you again. Now, you said it looks like something, or you can form it into something. Now, let's read form in Black's Law Dictionary, and I'll show you what they're doing to us, knowing this other stuff, and then you'll see why I'm an asshole, okay? Go ahead and read that now.
Boy, I don't know if this is what you want or not. It says a model or a skeleton of an instrument. Is that what you're looking for?
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. A model or skeleton of an instrument to be used in a judicial proceeding containing...
Stop right there. Okay, hold on. Now, a judicial proceeding, that's a court. So a form is not, it's a model or skeleton of an instrument. So a form and an instrument is the same thing. Isn't that what it says? I don't want to put anything, I don't want to try to slant anybody's questions. But is a form and an instrument the same thing?
Yes.
Okay, let's finish reading that. Then we're going to come back and show you how damaging anything that you do is. And then I'll kind of get into how I'm doing things and what I do and how come we're getting really, really good, what do you call it? We're getting what we want. Go ahead and finish reading it. A model or skeleton of an instrument to be used in a judicial proceeding. Go ahead and read it.
Containing the principal necessary matters, the proper technical terms or phrases, and whatever else is necessary to make it formally correct, arranged in proper and methodical and...
Methodical.
Pardon?
Methodical.
Yeah. and capable of being adapted to the circumstances of the specific case. As distinguished from substance, form means the legal or technical matter or order to be observed in legal instruments or judicial proceedings or in the construction of legal documents or processes.
Okay, that's fine. That you went past what we needed. So, did you know that?
Well, evidently not.
If you would have known, wait a minute. If you would have known it, you would have said it. You said it. See, now I want you to look up one more thing. I want you to look up look up instrument in Black's Law Dictionary. Then you're going to see what you're doing, and then I'm going to explain it to you and why they use what they use, and then I'm going to show you how we do a countermeasure against that. That's why the IRS agent almost punched me. He almost decked me when we were down there. All right. When you find the instrument, I'm going to do it. Now, what we're doing, see, is we're making the IRS adhere to their own documents. See, it says in their own documents, the IRS's legal right. So that means there is an illegal. They have an illegal right. So if you don't know any better, and you give them the illegal right, then it's on you.
Okay,
if you find this, okay, now I want you to read this because I'm going to stop you along the way so you understand what they're doing to us. Go ahead and read it again.
A written document, a formal or legal document in writing, such as a contract, deed, will, bond, or lease.
Now stop right there. So an instrument is those items. So when you fill out your 1040 form, they don't have to tell you. If you don't know what form means, it's an instrument. You're not filling out a form, you're filling out an instrument, which is the same thing as filling out a will. You're giving your money, you're willing your time, you're willing your effort, you're willing your salary, you're willing your family, you're willing your children, you're willing everything that you put on that piece of paper. You're willing it to the Internal Revenue Service.
Or you're conveying title by deed.
See, you're giving that to them. That's correct. Because you didn't know what the word form meant. When I do anything, if I go to the bathroom and wipe my ass, I have a glossary page. I put a glossary page with everything that I do. When I do a 1040, I don't do them, but the last one that I did in 88, I put a glossary page with it. When the IRS writes me a letter, I answer the letter, I put a glossary page with it. What the glossary page does is it takes form and it defines it. Defines money, form. It's got about 3, maybe 4 pages, and what it does is it defines the words that I need defined. They're not, and it's not my glossary. I use Black's Law Dictionary, so that we have to have a meeting of the minds. Just like I asked you, we say you guys in Michigan. What do you say? You said y'all, or how, the conversation went that way. Well, you guys means well, that ain't what y'all means, but that's what you said. So what's happening is I clarify everything. I have a right to defend. I have a right to have the meeting of the minds. A meeting of the minds is just that. If you're talking to a guy from China and he's speaking to you in Mandarin or Japan, whatever, in Mandarin, and you don't understand it, and he's speaking to you and you're answering him, you're a fool. You're an absolute idiot. Because then when he hauls off and decks you, and you say, well, what was that for? You told me to. What are you taking my wife for? You told me to. Why are you spanking my grandson? You told me to. You have no way to defend yourself because you're agreeing to things that you have no clue. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to show you. So what I have done when the state, especially the state, what I'm doing is I do my own form. I have my own form that I fill out. And it doesn't matter what you call it. I call mine a 1020 form. The word form is on there, just like theirs is. The 1020 makes some difference. The word form does. So when they write me a letter, I send them a form. See? What does it say? It doesn't matter what it says. Eat shit and die. Here's my form. Sign it and send it back. If you don't send it back, then here's what you're saying. And then I do a cover letter. See, the 1040 comes with a instruction booklet, 117 pages. That's fine. I write them a letter and I send them a form and then I send them a cover letter. check the boxes that you're talking about because I don't understand. I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. I can't hit my butt with both hands. Then I give them a form. With that form, I put on there, are you asking me to pay taxes? With. Now, the guy that's been looking stuff up, I'm going to show you what they're doing to us. Would you look up Title 31, Section 321? 3124. The guy that just spoke, can you tell me what income is? Does anybody know what the word income means? Because a 1040 is an income tax return.
Profit.
Okay. Are you in front of a computer?
I am.
Okay. Would you said profit. That's fine. That's income. Would you look up Title 31, Section 321, D as in dog, the number 2, and it's going to define it for you. See?
Wait.
And by no, go ahead.
I'm sorry. You know what? I have to put my phone down, and I apologize. I should have been prepared.
Don't worry about it. That's not a problem. Title 31, Section 321, D as in dog, the number 2. Okay. And then when you get it, pick up your phone and come back. I'm going to have you read it. It's just a short thing, and it actually defines income. Okay, the guy that's looking up 3124. Have you found that?
Yeah, just coming up now.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I've been doing. What I do is I make everything about the language. Okay. They just can't deal with me. They cannot deal with me. When I get pulled over beside the car, I say a few things to the police officer, and he's so angry he wants to punch my lights out. And I'm just really nice. Go ahead and read 3124. Read that for me.
Exemption from taxation.
Stop right there. Hold on. Would you like to know what's exempt from taxation?
Yes.
Let's find out what's exempt from taxation. A, go ahead and read it.
Stocks and obligations of the United States government are exempt from taxation by a state or political subdivision of a state. The exemption applies to each form of taxation that would require the obligation, the interest on the obligation, or both to be considered in computing a tax, except 1.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That's a modified field. That's like trying to sell guns. You have to pay taxes on guns because it's a regulated field. It's just going to say a franchise tax. Or you can finish reading it. That way you'll understand the difference. If you want to read it, go ahead and finish it.
Okay. 1, non-discriminatory franchise tax, or another non-property tax instead of a franchise tax imposed on a corporation, and 2, an estate or inheritance tax.
Okay, see, so that's something special. So the question is, if stocks and obligations of the federal government are exempt from taxation, do you want to know what stocks and obligations are?
Probably Federal Reserve note for one.
Well, wait a minute. No, they're not. It's a foreskins. If you have a foreskin, you see, I can make up anything I want to. That's what you're doing. So let's look it up. Title 18, Crimes and Criminal Procedures. If you break this Title 18, it's a felony. So Title 18, Section 8. I like to use their definitions. This is all on my glossary page. See, I have obligations. I have tax. All that's on my glossary page, and I have it defined using this type of system. So go ahead and go to Title 18, Section 8. Ma'am, have you found Title 31, Section 321?
I have. I have a new phone.
All right.
I'm practicing.
That's okay.
Okay.
It's not a problem.
This is
Title. Yep. Go ahead.
31 U.S.C. Section 321, General Authority of the Secretary.
Okay. Now, what I want you to do, I'm going to stop you along the way so we can explain it. Go ahead. Now, go ahead and read it.
Okay. A, the Secretary of the Treasury shall...
Hold on. No. That's okay. All I'm asking to do is set it up. D is in dog, the little d, the number 2.
Oh,
start right there.
You
That's
said
not
that.
a problem.
Okay. Here we go. D. So, D1, the Secretary of the Treasury...
No, D2.
D2, for purposes of the federal income, estate...
Stop. Won't this be important? For the purposes of federal income.
Yes.
Don't you want to know what federal... Okay, the rest of that is just, it's like they always do, it's gobbledygook. It's
right.
filler. Okay, so the purposes of federal income. Let's see what federal income is.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, D2.
Okay. Continue reading that. Okay, so for the purposes of the federal income, estate, and gift taxes, property accepted under paragraph 1, which I'd want to know, shall be considered as a gift or bequest to or for the use of the United States.
Stop right there. So hold on. Tell me what is federal income.
Federal income is profit. It's not exchange that I receive.
Okay, read it again. Wait a minute. You just read it. You just read it for the purposes of federal income. D2. That's
of federal income. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now read it.
Yeah. For the purposes of the federal income, estate and gift taxes, property accepted under paragraph 1 shall be considered as a gift or bequest to or for...
Stop. Hold up. Stop. What is federal income?
It's an inheritance to the United States.
Okay, again, read it again. You're incorrect again. See, it's so far off the track, we cannot get our arms around it, and this is what I do the best. For the purposes of federal income, it's a gift or a bequest. That's what it says. So if you go to work and they give you a gift or they give you a bequest, you have to pay tax on it because it says for the use of the federal government. If the government's using it and they can only get gifts or bequests, I don't get that. I get money. I get paid checks. It's not listed there. Does that make sense?
There is something that I'm definitely missing on that, and it goes so against what I've just been studying for so long.
I understand. Okay, there you go. Now, I'm going to give you another one, and then we're going to get back on target. Do you mind if I ask you a person? It's okay. That's okay. Can I ask you a personal question?
Yes.
Okay. Are you a woman of color or not?
Well, what's a woman of color?
Well, I'm asking you. See, if somebody was else to ask you other than me, what would you say? Are you a woman of color?
If I hadn't been on this call the last time, I would have fallen for that. But I've been on. This is my second time, and you're not going to get me. You chewed me up during that last call. So I've got that one. Thank you.
Okay.
You did a fabulous job on this. Thank you.
Right. Here's the problem. A person of color is black. That's what they say. Yet the definition of black is the absence of all color. White is the reflection of all color. I'm white. Therefore, I'm a man of color because I have the reflection of all color. Black is the absence of all color. How can a person that has no color be a person of color? See, that's opposite of what you've been taught. That's why you're having such a troubled time with this. Income is gifts and bequests. When I go to work, I don't get gifts and I don't get bequests. Therefore, I can't fill out. That's why I can't fill out a 1040 form. Why? Because it's illegal. Why is it illegal? Because I don't get any income. See, the whole thing. I understand. I'm talking in Greek, but this is how they're doing this. Now, go ahead, man. What was you going to say?
I'm sorry for cutting you off. You know what? What I just got was the result is the same. The pathway is different because what I've been studying is coming out of 26 USC, where it defines income as profit. that exchange for your wages, your skill, whether mental or physical, that is not income. So therefore, we can't fill the form out for the same exact reason you just said.
Because that is in, right, that is in 60, see, the definition of that is in something other than 6001, 6011, 6012A. If it's outside of those three, whatever you just said, the income that they're defining is illegal. They can't talk about it. See, why is it illegal? Because it's not in their legal right. Doesn't that? Now, can I ask you one more question, ma'am?
Absolutely.
Okay, on a colored television set, what color is Mickey Mouse on a colored television set?
Who's Mickey Mouse?
Let me make it easier. On a black and white television set, what color is Mickey Mouse?
Well, how are you defining color?
Okay, on color TV, you see all the colors in the rainbow. On a colored television set, if Mickey Mouse walks on the screen, what color is Mickey Mouse?
No, I think that's where the problem's coming in. I have a condition. I don't necessarily see things the same way as everybody else. So I wouldn't know how to answer that.
Okay. Well, let me tell you. Okay, the guy that just said that, what color is Mickey Mouse on a color TV, if you don't mind me asking? Anybody?
Mickey Mouse is not real.
Okay, so if Mickey Mouse isn't real, he doesn't exist. So Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy, they don't have color either. Why? Because they don't exist. See, we have been so conditioned to say black and white. Well, if Mickey Mouse, then what does Mickey Mouse smell like? Well, see, that's what they're doing. A 1040 form, you're doing income. Income doesn't exist, just like Mickey Mouse doesn't exist. So if income doesn't exist, you can't fill out a 1040. But they're telling you that in 6001, 6011, 6012A. They're telling you that. So I'm able to look at that, and I'm drawing it all together for you so that when you ask a question, instead of saying something stupid to them and getting yourself into trouble, I answer every question they ask, but that's all I ask. I don't answer anything else. Does that make any sense whatsoever?
Yes.
Now, the guy that's looking up Title 18, Section 8, did you find it?
Yes.
Okay, now, Title 18 is Crimes and Criminal Procedures. Now, I want you to read what it says. Go ahead and start reading it.
The term obligation or other security of the United States includes all bonds, certificates of indebtedness, national bank currency, Federal Reserve notes, Federal Reserve bank notes, coupons, United States notes, Treasury notes, gold certificates, silver certificates, fractional notes, certificates of deposit, bills, checks, or drafts of money drawn by or upon authorized officers of the United States, stamps, and other representatives of value.
Okay, that's good. Now, do you see? Those are not taxable. The question is, see, I wrote a book, and all this is in it, but I have the section that shows you in the Title 20, in their own title, Title 26, 1274 says you cannot pay taxes on notes. And the reason you can't, because it's debt. You can't pay debt with debt. It tells you in Title 26. So what we're trying to do is I'm trying to get this to where you understand what it says. That's their own paperwork. Now, does that make sense? The guy that just read that Title 18, are you still with me?
Yes.
Do you file a 1040 form?
No.
Why?
It's illegal.
See how simple that is? It's illegal. Now, why is it illegal? Now you can step up and, well, because right here it says this, it says this, it says this. Stop. No, you ask me why. I'm not done telling you yet. If you don't want to know, don't ask me. See, then when I'm done telling them, I got a 2-hour exhortation. I have 2 hours of whatever it is that I got. I'm taking control. Why? They asked me if I filed. I said no. He said, why? Because it's illegal. What do you mean? Well, here, let me show you. Now I got all my stuff laid out. See, the reason I don't file because it's illegal. The IRS says it's illegal. It's not about me. I want to file one. I wish I could file one, but I don't like to do stuff that's illegal. And so here's the question. Cocaine to a judge is the same thing as anything other than 6001, 6011, 6012 to the people. In other words, anything else the IRS asks you, it's over. Now, if you have a lien in the county, do a 12277 form. Fill it out, send it in. They'll get back to you, and they're going to say to you, you don't qualify because of 6332J. Well, 6332J is outside of their legal right. What they just did is they just gave you a bag of cocaine. Buddy, I want that argument. So when I'm done with them, they would rather release the liens than they would argue with me. Because, see, it's not a lien. The reason they're a notice of lien is because they're doing it illegal. See, they give it to me. I never tell them anything. I ask, and I ask. Now, the guy that was talking to me earlier that looked up Title 18, Section 8, can I ask you another question?
Yes.
Okay, I live in Texas. Where do you live? What state, if you don't mind me asking?
Are you serious? Is that a trick
Yes.
question?
Yeah, okay. No, I want to ask. Okay, you live in Missouri. In Texas, we wear belts, and we put these great big Texas buckles on them. Do you guys wear belts in Missouri?
What kind of belt?
See, now you screwed me, because now I got to tell you. See, the reason I said the big belt buckle, that's a red herring. I'm trying to get your mind there. If you would have said yes, I would have said, how do you get the buckle on the fan? How do you get the buckle on that fan belt? See, because as soon as you draw the conclusion, unless I tell you otherwise, I got you. That was exactly the right answer. Well, I don't know. What's a belt? See? Doesn't that make... I know it doesn't make any sense, and it's difficult to think this way. That's what they tell me. But is the light bulb starting to come on?
Yes.
Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you now, that lady, ma'am, do you mind me if I ask you a question?
No, I'm here.
Okay, I got a brand new tape I bought from the hardware store because I'm a contractor. I pulled it out and it sheared off exactly at 12 inches. Now I have a piece of tape that's 12 inches long. What do I have? It's 12 inches.
I don't.
Help me out here.
What is shear? I don't understand what you just said.
It broke. Okay, it broke. It broke right exactly at 12 inches. Now I have a 12-inch tape. What do I have? It's 12 inches long. What do I have?
Okay, well, what is an inch?
You're making it so difficult for me. See how simple that was?
I'm only doing what you told me to do, but because you know it's very difficult. Of course you're not going to answer the question.
No, broken tape measure.
Oh, right. There you go. See? Because if you would have said 12 inches is a foot, then I would have said you're correct. When your baby was born, if you have any children or anybody you know, when the baby was born, what's on the end of their ankle? You're going to say a foot. Wow, that's a giant kid. So you're telling me the baby was born with 12-inch on the end of its ankle. Well, no. Did you lie then or did you lie now? See, we're always having to defend because we are making a decision on something they didn't tell us otherwise. So what I'm trying to do is show you. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
that takes a lot of
time. It does, and I apologize for it. But as you do it, you'll see how what's happening. This is all about jurisdiction. See, jurisdiction is in the words that they're using. See, when I started this, I had a friend of mine that was doing it for a long time. He was from Illinois, and what happened was. We didn't have the internet at the time, but I had a fax machine. He would write 10 words on a piece of paper. He would fax it to me. I would get his fax, put it on my desk, open up my Black's Law, and I would handwrite the definitions to those words. I'd fax it back. I would immediately get another fax from him with 10 more words. Then I'd get my Black's Law Dictionary and I'd handwrite the definitions, and I'd send them back. And by doing that, what I learned is I can give you 15 or 20 words that absolutely means totally different of what you think. Now, using Title I, Section 1, up is down and down is up. Now, isn't that what it said? Isn't that what it said, basically?
Yeah.
Up is, yeah. Okay, now, ma'am, may I ask you another question?
Yes.
Okay, look at your ceiling and tell me what color the room you're in, the ceiling, what color is it painted?
I'm not in a room.
Okay, where are you, outside?
Well, that depends. What is the question?
Wait a second. Depends is what my father wore when he was just before he died. So depends. I don't believe you.
I've heard of those.
All right.
I've heard of them. Okay.
All right. Now, are you physically where you're located? Are you inside of the house or outside of the house?
That was a hard one.
Okay, if you don't know, then what I'll do is I'm the judge. I'll just put you in jail for 120 days and let you think about it, and then when we come back, we'll ask the question all over again. This is how.
What I don't know is what you're saying. I don't know. I don't understand the words you're using, and I don't know what the definition is. That's what's happening. Not that I don't want to answer the question, but I don't understand what the words are. What it's up to.
Do you see how simple that becomes?
Yeah, thank you for that.
I don't understand. I don't understand. If you don't understand, you don't understand. So you can keep talking all you want. I don't understand. See, what I was going to see, what happens is if up is down and down is up and your ceiling is white and your floor is brown, then look up. You look up, what color is the ceiling? You're going to say white. It's not anymore. It's brown.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see. So what happens is we have to understand that. And it is extremely difficult. And see what you did to me. You made me. Well, I'm not going to use that question. See, when I was indicted, what they did to me is I was there 9.5 hours. They only got 4 questions out of me because by the time they got around to asking the question that I could answer, the attorney said, just forget it. We're not going to use that question because I neutered what they needed. So when they were done, they got 4 questions answered. That's all they got in 9.5 hours. So what happened? So what happened was the IRS says, "Look, just let him go. He would go to jail. He'll go to prison. He won't even know he's there." So I walked out, and the reason I walked out because they're telling me something and they won't tell me otherwise. Doesn't that make sense now?
Yes, a lot more.
Now, okay. What I have done is I have Title 26 completely outlined. It's in 29 pages. It's 6001, 6011, 6012A. I'm sorry, 6012 and the regulations. Then I put in a couple of personal notes of mine. The question is, if you know those 3 sections, and you know them pretty well, you don't have to memorize them, but know them pretty well. When they ask you a question, see? Now, what they indicted me for was willful failure to file 7203. So my argument was, 7203, that would be illegal. That would be like me giving a 2-year-old a 5th of whiskey and putting it in his bottle. That would be illegal. That would be like me selling cocaine to the 12-year-old next door neighbor because it's illegal. See? If it's illegal, why are you asking me? We're in court, Your Honor. Don't you think you should put that? Don't you? They should go to jail for asking things illegal. See what I'm saying, ma'am? Can I ask you another question? Now listen to my question, okay? Have you stopped poisoning your neighbor's dog? Okay, the guy that laughed. Can you answer me? Have you stopped poisoning your neighbor's dog? Hello?
Which one?
Which one? The one that's got a scrotum and the nuts drag on the ground. That's which one. So have you stopped poisoning your neighbor's dog?
I can't answer that.
Okay, so if you don't answer it, I'm going to put you in prison for 90 days, and we'll start over.
My neighbor doesn't have a dog.
Okay, ask me. There you go. See,
what
the real answer would be, here's what I would say. I would say, which neighbor? They would say, well, the one on your left. Glad you asked. My neighbor on the left does not have a dog. See, I answered it, but now I control. Well, okay, the one on the right. You don't have a dog either. I live in a neighborhood where you can't have dogs. See, I answered the question. That's not the question they needed. So what they said was, forget it. I don't need. We don't. Never mind. We're not going to use that question. Okay. So all day long, that's what happened. Is it time to go?
5 minutes.
That's fine. Now, does anybody have a question? We have 5 minutes. I'll try my best to answer it. If you at the bottom of your email tonight that got you invited on there's an email there. Let me make a quick announcement. I get a lot of emails saying, "Can you call me?" and then there's no phone number on there. So if you email Ed looking for something, give us some kind of way to get in touch with you. If you want to talk to me, I will call you. But I can't call you if there's no phone number. And I hate to do this, but I'm going to use Ed's forum here. I wrote a book that has all this in it. So if you're interested in it, get a hold of Ed, and Ed will get a hold of me, and I'll get a hold of you with the terms and all of that. But does anybody have a question that I can answer you before we go? Okay, by your silence, I assume that we did a good enough job.
I have a question.
Then go right ahead and ask it. All right, ask it.
I sent a petition to the tax court during this COVID-19, and I haven't heard back. I haven't heard back from me anything.
Okay, then what you do is you call them. All right. What will happen is somebody will answer it, and you tell them, I sent a call, and I haven't heard back. If nobody answers, you leave a message. See, this is special. I can't help that COVID-19 has changed the way they do it. But they're going to go back to work Friday, so it'll start catching up. But call them on the phone and see where it's at.
I have a question on the same form, if it's okay. Real quick. I filed form 2. I received the response that you had said that I needed to add the $60, which I did. And before I received anything back from the court, I received something from the commissioner. I think this is probably a longer question. Maybe I should email, because we don't know. I mean, it's me and my friend both did it, and now they have us with a court date with my name versus the IRS commissioner to show up in court.
Okay, that happens every so often. We haven't had to go yet. We'll just answer the question. He's asking you a question. They're telling you what they want to do. Basically, what they're wanting to do is they want to know why you did this. Now, let me ask you why. Why did you go to the tax court?
Well, honestly, I didn't know that's what I was doing. I just filled out the form because that's what I was told. But
that's the wrong answer. That's the wrong answer. They're going to chop your head off. Okay,
I'm not going to tell them that because it's changing.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. That's the wrong answer. The answer is because I got it off the internet. Now, this is the other thing that we said the other day. The IRS called and just chewed this guy's butt. And he said, "Why are you doing that?" He said, "I got it on the internet." He said, "Where'd you get it?" He said, "IRS.gov." And, buddy, he went off on the guy. So the reason you went to the tax court, because the internet told you to do it. What website? IRS.gov.
Okay. Okay.
See? See, to me that made sense. Ever since he told him that, like I said, when I go with somebody, all they want to do is they want to punch me. I went to court the other day, and the judge threw a gavel at me.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was so mad he threw it at me, and I moved. And I said, "Hey," I said, "Na na 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 na, now you missed." What are you going to, I mean, these guys, see, they just can't deal with my thinking. And I'm trying my best to help you with it where I can. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, excuse me? Yeah.
My pleasure.
Real quick. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can.
Quick question. How do you respond to a state delinquency to file for Louisiana?
Okay. What we're doing is I have a form. We send it to them. But first thing you do is pull your state's income tax instructions. In there, it's going to say you get your numbers from the feds. If the Fed says they don't have jurisdiction, you don't tell them that yet. You write a letter to them and you say, according to whatever state you're from, on page such and such, highlighted and enclosed for your convenience, it says to use the federal. Would that be what you want? They're going to write you back and say yes. Then you take the feds and send them your court order. The thing is, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Instead of going out there trying to run and get everything at once, what I do is I snipe at them. I get them to tell me a little here, a little there. Just a real quick story, Ed, then I'll hang up. I'm sorry about that. We wrote a letter to the state. The state came back and said the reason they have a lien is because, according to the state's constitution, they have a right. They told us where it's at. They have a right to file any and all liens coming from wherever they come. So what we did is we wrote back and said, well, wow, we're so glad. Can we see the lien? Because here's what we got. We got a notice of lien. You didn't file a lien. You filed a notice of lien. Are you calling it a lien? Release it or we'll see you in court. So we're fixing to file a court action next week on the county clerk on the grounds, the Constitution that she admitted to, the state statute she admitted to, and the state, there's two statutes that says what she can and cannot do. She told us what it was. And it says she is obligated to file all liens. And we got a notice of lien, so we want to know what's going on. Now we're taking the court clerk to court on the grounds she's violating the Constitution and the court and the state's statutes. And that's what I do. We can put together a series of letters, and you ask the state, I'm trying to do this. I'm ready, willing, and able. I want to do it. I want to do it. How do I do it? Now, real quick, the guy that just asked me that, are you still here? Can I ask you a quick question? Okay,
yes, I'm still here.
I'm helping you. Okay, I'm helping you the best I can. You need this. I want $750 for helping you. What's the next question you're going to ask?
$750 what?
I'm not going to tell you, but if you don't give it to me, I'm going to take your house. Now, that's absolutely asshole-ish. That's what we're doing to them. See? Do you see what we did? I want to give it to you, but you got to help me here. I don't know how to do it. Well, I build a form, a model or a skeleton to be used in a court of law. We send it to them. If they don't answer it, we fault them, then we default them, then we take them immediately to the court on the grounds. I'm ready, willing, and able to pay, and they won't tell me. In other words, I want $750. If I don't tell you what it is, how can you give it to me? Well, I'm going to sue you, and I'm going to take your house for not giving me the $750. Well, I'm ready to give it to you. I want to give it to you. I don't have a problem giving it to you. I don't know how, and I don't know what. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we're doing. Thank you. No. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it.
Our next call will be May the 26th, everybody. And thanks a lot for calling tonight.
Carrie and Ed, thank you for hosting this, and we've had a wonderful time listening tonight.
Well, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, thank
what we have to do.
And in Virginia.
We have to get our country back. Thank you.